It's 1 p.m. Central African Time and you're watching ZTN News Blitz. We're live from Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. Let's take a quick look at our top stories. Coronavirus in Zimbabwe. What are the vulnerable places? We'll be giving you more. Pressure at Parirenyatwa as coronavirus screening intensifies. Coronavirus, a threat to Africa's endangered mountain gorillas. And in sport, World Athletics boss calls for Olympic Games postponement. Now, coronavirus in Zimbabwe, what are the vulnerable places? As Zimbabwe joins the rest of the world in battling the deadly coronavirus, the biggest question is, what are the country's potential hotspots? The two confirmed positive cases were from persons who had arrived from abroad, and one potential hotspot is the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport in Harare, which is the main airport in the country. It records traffic which runs into thousands of people daily. Joshua Mngqabuko Airport in Bulawayo is another port of entry which also has significant international arrivals. Also potentially vulnerable is Victoria Falls International Airport, which is the center of tourism in the country. Now, interestingly, the second case in the country is a person resident in Victoria Falls. Another place which, if not managed properly, could cause disaster is Beitbridge Border Post, located at the boundary of South Africa and Zimbabwe. Largely touted as Africa's busiest inland border post, and more than 35,000 pedestrians passing through the border daily. Now, Zimbabwe's medical institutions have stepped up efforts to detect the spread of the coronavirus by introducing screening spots at entrances. Now, the script is, however, not going according to plan. At Parirenyatwa Hospital, where friends and family with relatives admitted at the medical facility are enduring hours before being screened for the virus. This has resulted in most of the visitors missing visiting hours, and all this is because the hospital authorities are not leaving anything to chance. Our reporter Takuchi Ambakwe is at Parirenyatwa, and he gives us an update from the hospital.
Well, things have intensified here at Parirenyatwa. As you can see behind me here on Old Mazoe Road, the main entrance to Parirenyatwa Hospital. Cars are being stopped and being screened as people are coming through, whether you're a medical practitioner or you're a visitor. People are having to go through rigorous checks at the gates here. As you can see, there's a long stretch of cars along Old Mazoe Road, and people are coming through, but there have been some complaints by the different people that we've managed to speak to. They've been highlighting that the queues are just too long and the medical personnel are just too few. We also managed to speak to some of the individuals, the medical practitioners off camera, and they did confirm that they're understaffed. Unfortunately, we have not been able to speak to the hospital PR department, as we've been advised that they're in a meeting, but we'll keep you up to tabs with everything that's happening.
Although there is no evidence yet that animals can be affected with COVID-19, conservationists are warning that Africa's endangered mountain gorillas could be at risk from the virus. Scientists say apes are prone to some of the same respiratory illnesses as humans, and in some cases die from the common cold. This therefore could make them susceptible to COVID-19. Congo's Virunga National Park, home to about a third of the world's mountain gorillas, is barring visitors, while Rwanda is also suspending research activities and entrance to 3 national parks. Uganda has not closed its parks, although officials say tourists have stopped coming to the country. We'll move to the world of sport, where World Athletics President Lord Kaur has called for the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo to be postponed. In a letter to International Olympic Committee IOC President Thomas Bach, Kaur said an Olympics in July 2020 is neither feasible nor desirable because of the coronavirus crisis. The IOC has given itself 4 weeks to decide on the future of the 2020 Games. Options include a delay of several months or more probably a year from the scheduled start on July 24. South African Premier Soccer League side Highlands Park has signed former Harare City and Dynamo striker Kuda Kumala. Kumala, who has been on trials with South African sides since last month, joins fellow Zimbabwean goalkeeper Tapua Kapili and striker Tendai Ndoro. The former Dynamo striker had an explosive season with Division 1 side Hartley Academy in 2014, which led him to join Harare City in 2015 before being snapped up by Dynamos in 2018. And that's all we have for you now on News Blitz. We're back again at 4 p.m.